Warm up.
I'm out.
What's the topic?
All right, everybody. Glad to see y'all. Jesus, y'all coming in already. Thank you so much. Welcome to week 42. I don't have to ask Broderick this week. He's out. Week 42 of When the Right One Comes, the men's edition. Come on in. There's this. I don't know why everybody said it. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, everybody. Please tell us where you're from. And we need you to do what you do. Thank you, Teresa. She said, share. Don't even ask me, Bishop. Tell Frank, don't even ask me. Good evening. Good evening. Y'all put some names in here, please. Put some names in here. Put some names in here to invite your girlfriend, your best BFF. Oh, I like that, Maureen. She said, good evening, kings. Good evening, kings. Antoine, I didn't speak to you, did I?
Oh, you all good, Bishop. I understand how I go. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yes, sir.
I'm good.
I just want to say to whoever it is, don't tell me what to do on this show.
What somebody say?
That's talking about something. Don't tell her to share. You already don't tell me what to do, okay, sister? That's you.
Oh, he is starting already.
That's like Kevin Samuels. Let me tell you what you're not gonna do.
He said, tell your mama.
Here we go. Here we go. Is Christopher Grill and Chris on here yet? He on other people's show telling them, oh, well, I gotta go. It's time for When the Right One Comes. I love it. All right, Frank, take over.
What it do? What it do? Listen, welcome to the hottest show on Oprah's internet on a Monday night. When the Right One Comes. We are the brainchild of the one and only Bishop Greg Davis. Bishop, that shirt go hard.
Yup.
I got to tell Greg. I got to tell my son. He playing with him.
That giant go hard. I got to get me one.
All
what
right.
I got to do to get one?
GregDavisShow.com. GregDavisShow.com. See Dwayne? Where did Dwayne go? He's gone. Oh, I won't tell Dwayne. That's how you do it. You ask where to get one from. Dwayne talking about, can you send me one?
I'm back.
I'm trying to pay.
He missed it. He missed it.
I
Rebuke him again, Bishop. Rebuke him again. One more time.
I'm trying to pay my bills, man. Come on.
Talking about send them a shirt.
You way past that, Bishop.
I'm way past paying my bills.
Yeah. I got it from a good store.
Tell my let me stop telling me my business.
Watch this, and that was 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so that guy with that Go With God shirt on up there with that pretty white beard. That is who birthed us. 42. It was 42 weeks ago.
Wow.
On a Monday night that we were birthed. I felt churchy right there for some reason. I don't know why.
I say my heart wasn't right, but something got on.
Yeah.
Global.
It's the oval spear from Pentecost Sunday yesterday. I just felt it. I felt it coming out of my belly. But yeah. And then next to him, we have one of the original Christian kings of comedy, the one and only Broderick E. Rice. Say what's up, Rice.
What's up, everybody?
Then we have the prophet. Listen, we never know where he gonna be at. We don't know if it's gonna be a spaceship, a recording studio, a skyline. We just never know. He's just all over the world. Prophet Claiborne, say what's up to the people.
What's happening, Frank? What's happening, everybody?
Then we got the bishop from St. Louis, Antoine Jackson. What's up, bro? Say what's up to the people.
What's up, fam? How y'all doing tonight?
Then we have this guy who's showing us that his head is clean shaven and shiny on tonight. Pastor Herbert Johnson Jr. Say what's up, Johnson.
What's up, family? What's up?
Then we got my boy down at the bottom, Mr. Global himself. Joe Global, say what's up to the people, Joe.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Then we got my other boy, the one and only Dwayne. Dwayne is hilarious, y'all. Say what's up to the people, Dwayne.
Everybody, what's up?
Yeah, so we about to get it popping tonight. If you have not already shared, I need you to share right now. I don't see enough sharers in my feed on Facebook. So I need everybody to share. Just share. I need you to tag at least 5 people tonight in that comment section. And let's get it popping. Shout out to my Linda in the background that holds it down for us every Monday night. She is faithful. She has not missed a Monday since she's been in charge of the background. Brother Greer, welcome to the feed, our faithful brother. Y'all say what's up to Greer. That's one of my most faithful members.
Greer.
Even though he a little rebellious sometimes, he get to talking out of pocket sometimes, but we love him. We love him anyway. Bishop, what you want to do? What you got?
Do what you do, man.
All right.
Do the icebreaker.
Icebreaker tonight. Listen, what's one thing you find a way to do no matter what? One thing you always find a way to do no matter what. Anybody?
Encourage.
Wait a minute.
No, go ahead, Dwayne.
I'll say bounce back.
For sure.
Make money. I'm gonna find a way to make some money.
Gotta make some money.
I'm gonna find a way.
Rice, what you were saying?
Encourage and inspire. I can't help myself.
Yeah.
On what they call my worst day. I either make somebody laugh, sing to somebody, or find somebody that may be having a rougher day than me, say something to lift them up.
You know, that's real, Rice. You are very complimentary, very encouraging, very supportive.
Thank you, Pastor Frank.
And I appreciate your spirit on that. Antoine, what you about to say?
I'm going to find a way to go to Starbucks, bro. No matter where I'm at. I'm going to find the bucks.
That could be Bishop Davis' answer, too. Joe?
Yeah.
That's what you're going to find?
What?
Hey, Joe, that's what you gonna find a way to do?
No, he can't say his publicly.
Hey, they said it. Said it.
No, I'm gonna say, but like Prophet said, you know, I'm gonna find a way to put a couple dollars in my pocket. That's gonna happen.
What's that you couldn't say? We want to know. This when the right one comes.
I'm gonna find a way to have a good time.
But I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it immediately.
Oh, I love it, man.
That was you, Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, Bishop, you know what that's from, right? Bishop Davis, you know what that's from?
Bishop don't know what that's from.
That's why he don't never laugh when you hear it. But if you knew what it's from, tonight we want you to crack up.
I don't really laugh like that, Dwayne. I'm really laughing, but this is how I laugh. No,
Right.
I have the driest humor in the world. You don't know when I'm really in. People laugh, but yeah. But go ahead. What is it from?
You gotta have to see it. You had to see it.
Okay.
Bishop, I think you're the only one that answer.
So My second answer would be what the bishop said, but my first answer actually is to give somebody a chance.
Find a way. You're gonna find a way to give somebody a chance.
Yeah, because I have a show every day, and I give somebody a chance that wouldn't otherwise have a chance.
You're right.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And then then the real first answer is Starbucks.
Yes, sir.
That was a good one, Frank. What about you?
Eat.
That's for sure.
Find a way to eat, brother.
All right.
Find a way to eat. What
day is your show on this week?
Wednesday night.
Who you got?
9 p.m.
What you talking about?
We're doing a part 2 on want too much, give too little. You know how your generation, it was hot last week too. Your generation and above your generation accuse millennials of wanting too much while giving too little, whether that be in their careers, their relationships, their churches, all of this stuff. And so last week we started on the relationship tip, and so we're doing part 2 to that this week. I got Dwayne gonna be on there. I got Tim on there. I got Mariah. I got Jalen.
Bishop, you gotta pray for me on his show.
I got Tatiana. Yeah, so.
Hey, who's that high yellow girl?
Which one? There's a couple of them.
I just saw one at the beginning of the show. Just as red as she could be.
You probably talking about Mariah. She's engaged. She's engaged.
Oh no, I wasn't interested in that way.
Okay.
It's just I saw the glory. I wanted to ask on your show when I was watching, but I didn't want to be rebuked.
You could have.
No, this is a better platform.
That's old Mo. That's old Mo. She probably watching tonight.
Well, congratulations to you on your engagement. What you say, Bishop?
Clean it up.
Right.
I see some of my folks. I see Deanna and Cleve normally be in the comments.
Oh, Jesus. Those are the two right there.
They're my girls. Dwayne and Tim gonna be on their show tomorrow night.
Pray for me, Frank. Pray for me.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Prophetess Shaniqua, and everybody on tonight. I'm noticing there's 195 on Facebook, but there's 268 people everywhere. So those of you that are on YouTube, if you would do me a favor, and Frank understands this, if y'all those of y'all that got YouTube channels, please take that thumb and like it, and make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Please subscribe to the channel right now. If you're on YouTube, just say hello. If you're on YouTube, just say hello. But I need you to hit that thumbs up as you're watching. So tonight we're going to talk about what the name of the show is. We're going to be a little serious tonight. We're going to talk about when the right one comes. And I want to ask the men some questions. Y'all invite and share. I want to ask the men some questions about, look at y'all on, I need y'all on YouTube to just say hello. And let me know you shared.
Sorry.
Thank you all. Thank you. Share it. I want to talk about when the right one comes, and I want to ask some questions about the right one. Many of you don't even know about when the right one comes. I've been tweeting for almost 10 years. My first tweet was, in order to get the right one, you have to become the right one. It means you have to take care of yourself first and make sure that you're prepared for the right one. So tonight I want to ask the men, WTROC. Matter of fact, those of you that are on, if you would text WTROC to 81411, text WTROC to 81411. Mika, if you out there, if you could put it on the screen, if you could type it up for me. And so you'll receive a text message about what's going on with when the right one comes. So I want to ask the first question. Do you all believe there's a right one? Go ahead, Dwayne.
Just to give a short answer, I do, Bishop. I think there is a right one. I remember you asked a question a while ago on here and on Clubhouse. Do we believe in love at first sight? And that's to be debatable, but I don't think that the right one is necessarily a debatable thing, because I think that the right one is Bishop AJ. I think it is a consistent flow for just who you are, right? It can't be measured to what Broderick's right one is. It can't be measured to what Frank's right one is. It can't be measured to what AJ's right one is. It can't be measured to what Joe's right one is. It's got to be measured to what we need as the individual and what we can offer to that individual that we need. And so I think it is the right one. I just think it's a matter of kind of dating and kind of figuring out what that looks like, what that is, and then coming to a conscious decision and saying, hey, this is what I need. This is what I want, because I think sometimes we condemn wants, but it's suitable. So it's need first, want, and then how can this work in the overall picture to who I am.
Joe.
I don't know what Dwayne was just talking about. What
the hell are you talking about, man?
What the world is you talking about?
Man, I had no clue what he was saying.
What you talking about, Frank?
Brother.
Yeah, dog.
You just took us to the Pacific, to the Atlantic.
I just said I gave the reasons why.
It's crazy.
That's why you and Joe are best friends.
Joe was with me because I didn't know what.
That's why you and Joe are right. But Uncle DMX was with me up there. Him shaking his head.
I'm with you, Steph. I'm with you.
If y'all were lost, just type "lost" in the comment.
Joe, do you believe
they coming for you tonight, Dwayne?
Joe, do you believe it's the right one?
Yeah, I believe that I don't believe there's a right one. I do believe that there's a multitude of right ones, and whoever you decide to, whoever is properly paraded in front of you, could potentially be the right one. I don't think God made one person for each person in the world. That's not what He would do. It would challenge our free will. But I do think there is a multitude of people that Frank is cracking up. I don't know what he's cracking up at.
The comments.
Okay. There's a multitude of people that you could actually have a connection with and find the right one. I do think that timing and time is everything. And so sometimes we meet people too quick, we meet two people too late, but there is a person that you're going to meet right on time with where you are in your life and where they are in their life. And it's going to be the right one. That's going to blow your mind, that's going to light your fire, that's going to dazzle you, that's going to arrest you, have you all caught up and handcuffed to that moment.
Hey!
And so slapped in the face by the excitement of their femininity, Antoine. But I do think that there is a person that when the right timing is there, that is going to blow your mind. The problem is that Johnson, we have to be open-hearted, open to receiving that person, not just receiving it, because we spend so much time on obtaining that we don't put a whole lot of time into maintaining. And so set your heart towards how you're going to care for that person, how you going to take care of them, how you going to nourish them spiritually, how you going to nourish them affectionately and conversationally and all of that, and emotionally. How will you take care of them? And so I think that there's a combination of both. Being postured and prepared for what's about to fall into your lap, that you don't drop it on the ground, and that how you're going to care for it once it's in your presence, in your home, in your house, in your life, in your responsibility. And so, those of us, let's be more. Man, Juanita Gallon, how you doing? That's into. Okay, I lost my thought. All right, yeah, go ahead, bye.
I was kind of glad I was being rocked to sleep over here a little bit.
The Saints is deep tonight.
Yes, he was deeper than nephew. Like,
oh my God!
He rocked me to sleep. He rocked me to sleep. You ain't say nothing about that, Frank, huh?
Because they friends.
Is my mic on? Is my mic on? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Joe was deep too. He was. I don't know how we got to talk about maintaining, updating. Bishop said, "Do you believe in the right one?"
He said we serious tonight. He said we serious.
Yeah, but y'all are a little long too now.
I digress.
I got a lot of questions.
I'm going back on mute.
So Antoine, Joe said, I think how many of y'all agree there's a right one? Well, let's just do that. Just raise your hand if you believe there is or there is a right one. Frank, you don't believe the right one? No.
I believe who you choose to be with is the right one.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah. I don't mean that. Yeah, because hell, if there go that word again.
Right, yes, sir.
If that's the case, I'd have had a couple right ones. Okay.
Exactly.
So I know what you mean, Frank. Johnson, you believe the right one?
Bishop, I believe that you attract the right one once you become what you're looking for.
Yeah, I said that earlier. That was my first quote. Yeah, so
I'm agreeing with you.
So you have to become before you can.
Right.
Yep. Okay. So we can move. So there's something Joe said in his deepness. Antoine, are you open to the right one? How do you be open to the right one?
See, I actually disagree with the statement that you attract what you are. I disagree with it. And the reason why I disagree with it is because I can't do anything about what I see and what I like, but I can do something about what I accept. So I think the reality is you accept based on how you see yourself. So I don't choose everybody that I'm attracted to, but how I actually see myself will determine the quality of my choices. So to kind of sum it up with what I was thinking about the first question, to me, yeah, I believe in the right one, but I believe that you have to understand that the right one, sometimes you don't see that until the end. You don't see that until a certain stage of the relationship, though, because what is the right one? Is it just we got married or I like you? The right one to me has to deal with the assignment. What's the assignment? What are we accomplishing with the relationship? What's the goal? So have we accomplished anything? Have we built anything that determines that this relationship is meaningful, fruitful, and it actually produces something in both of our lives? So I think that, Bishop, it is about the placement. It's like you look back sometimes, like purposes. Sometimes you look back. I think you can find that you're with the right one sometimes when you assess the quality of the relationship.
But Antoine,
totally.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think that also involves personal maturity to be able to look back and to assess the situation?
Yep. Because it goes back to what Joe said, though. Joe said I think we don't maintain relationships well. So I think we put too much pressure on the front end of a relationship, but we don't have anything else, any mechanics to actually build a relationship that makes it fruitful. Likability just ain't good enough.
Right. But don't you also believe that our choices evolve as we evolve?
Yes. But I'm choosing that person.
But that goes against what you said in the beginning.
Exactly.
Not necessarily, because I'm choosing that person based on what we come to know about each other at that time. So it's basically a capacity thing. So I should be choosing you based on capacity. But then as the longer I'm with you, I should be able to assess the quality of the relationship by what it is actually produced. What has the relationship itself produced? So I'm not with you because I'm attracted to you. I'm with you. Let's just put it like this. Beauty is unsubjective. You can't define beauty. You know what I'm saying? The reality is I look at you, I may find you attractive, but that ain't the best metric to choose whether I would be in a relationship with somebody. So that's why when people say you attract what you are, I think they're shooting a little low, because I think it sometimes put the onus on somebody else to become perfect when none of us are anyway. So I think it's based on how you actually view yourself, how you actually, the perspective you have of yourself determines the quality of who you will choose. Not just because I'm attracted to you that I choose you.
But yeah, Bishop, I think that's what we're saying. We're saying that perspective evolves as we grow and mature.
I don't know. Y'all said you attract who you are. And that's the thing that I'm saying. I don't know.
Who you are always becoming, Bishop.
Because you should be always evolving.
Exactly. So just think about it. The person that what you was attracted to 10 years ago, you're no longer attracted to now.
Because that's not because that's who I am, though. That may just be what I like. That ain't because that's who I am.
Yeah, but your capacity have expanded.
No, that's not necessarily. Because the issue is this. If I'm looking at somebody with my eyes, it's different about what I see with my eyes than what I actually see as my assignment. And so to say that you attract somebody,
your assignment also grows and progresses.
I agree.
Like, don't choose anybody when you're younger because you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, exactly. But you can have a vision for where you're going, though, Bishop. So
a lot of people don't, Antoine, when they're
that's
young.
why their relationship sucks.
And that's why they shouldn't choose until you know where you're going. And so if you choose where you are in the beginning, you're going to choose for where you are, where you think you are, and where you're going. As you grow, you be like, I wouldn't pick them now.
Yeah, but the statement y'all saying is you attract who you are. So that's the thing
at present time.
I don't agree with it, but I hear y'all. I don't agree with it. I hear y'all.
Who wanna get a piece of that? Everybody thinking about it. Frank,
part of me actually, I actually agree with Bishop. I actually agree with them.
Which one?
Antoine. I actually agree with Antoine.
Yeah, thank you for the clarity.
I actually agree with Antoine. I know this is gonna probably kill me in the comments, but I agree with Antoine in parts of who you attract is definitely different, because sometimes the one that you attract will help you become a better of you being the right one, because they help you bring out stuff in you. Have you ever been in a relationship and that person really brought out of you something totally different that you didn't even know was there, your own self? Because that's what relationships does. It sharpens you and it brings out things in you. I am part of who I am as a man came from relationships. It wasn't just certain men and people around me. Part of who I am as a man came from relationships and how I handle things. I think the right one comes, but I think that the right one, Johnson, grows over time, because here's the thing. Until it's been tested, you really don't know what the right one is. Because I'm like Bishop. I had quite a few right ones, Frank. I had quite a few right ones. But when the test came, it proved that they wasn't the right one. When the test came, it proved that they could not withstand all that was happening at that time. So sometimes what you believe in the beginning, or who you believe in the beginning, is the right one. I don't think it's the right one until the test of time proves that she is the right one. And let me say it again, because my beginning with you can look great, and you look like you're the right one. You may even make me feel like you're the right one. Everything you're saying is the right one. All of the stuff that I need, and what nephew said and what I want, all that's in place. But when the tests come, and you can't handle the poor, and you can't handle the bad. Bishop asked on the stage one time, what is the worst? Because we said the better or the worst. He said, well, what really is the worst? Because some people are getting out to something that somebody else would say, that wasn't nothing. We're going to hang in there. So until it is over time, I think the right one proves herself or himself over time, more than just the beginning of being my right one, because we had picked what we thought was right ones, but they proven to not be the right one. That's what I would say.
So
that experience is also developing your own maturity and your own social lenses. And so
Okay,
that's
agree.
why we keep going back to that. You attract who you are. At that time, you attracted who you are. And then as you begin to grow, you begin to learn how to assess people differently and from a place of maturity.
You
Well,
accept.
I better
I can
change
see
I
you
better change who I am,
accepting.
Johnson, because what I'm attracting in the beginning, I
Yeah,
don't like it. So I'm gonna change.
I
It's
think
not
he's
turning
better
out to be
saying
good.
you accept how you view yourself, not attract who you are. Because if I say I attract who I am, I'm taking away that person's power of choice.
But Bishop, how you view yourself continues to evolve.
Well,
Sure.
I got one question. So is the right one predicated on the transitions of your life, or is it predicated on some foundation that you build upon? Because I'm just asking, because what I'm hearing is, Bishop, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I think it's based upon somebody that can transition with you.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I'm asking this question, because
Absolutely.
the way that you said it, and I'm just going off of what you said, I'm not being weird,
No
but
problem.
the way that you said it was like, hey, I think the right one is predicated upon, and you said I picked other right ones, but were they necessarily the right one, or were they just?
They actually was the right one for that time, because I'm going to be very transparent. And I said this earlier, Dwayne, if you remember.
Yeah, I do.
Some people get married just to get married and don't think about none of this.
Yes.
I do. I think some people are more in love with getting married than actually knowing what marriage have to do with.
Okay.
I've never thought about what I'm about to get into. I do now.
Correct.
But I'm older. And so the times I got married, I just saw somebody and said, I think I want to marry. And I don't, Antoine, don't be laughing at me.
I did it too.
I
I'm
did
trying
it
to help
too.
somebody.
Right.
I'm trying to help somebody. I think I think mainly women the most are in love with the idea of marriage, and men, I'm sorry, ladies, and don't know the work that it takes. And you have
That's
to
what I'm
have
talking
somebody.
about.
I think what we need to say to people, if we're considering it, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, Perry,
Children
welcome.
of all ages.
Yeah, I think we need to say, listen, this is where I'm at. This is what I believe I hear God saying at this moment for my life. Are you willing to ride with me? And as I hear from God or whoever it is that you're hearing from, whatever.
Sure.
Let me finish, Andrew. Then are you willing to be somebody that is open-minded? Bishop Morton says, my spiritual father says, the future belongs to those who are open to positive change. So you need to get somebody that's not one-dimensional and they don't think in the box, but they think outside of the box, that if you become a triangle, if you become a rectangle, they're willing to adapt with wherever you're going. And there are not that many people that are willing to adapt and be pliable in relationships. The terms of condition, Dwayne, you've heard me say this before. Antoine, we've talked about this before on this show. It means that things are changing. And I'm gonna give it back to you, Antoine. I had terms and condition that I never discussed with Pastor Kim. I just said, I'm going on TV. And she said, I don't want to do TV, that's you. But what I didn't understand, Franklin, that she was saying is, I've done everything else with you, but I don't want to do that with you. I may have a problem because I'm used to doing everything else with you. And then our church in Delaware grew to proportions that I had to tell her, go to our church in Pennsylvania and do that. So we began to do nothing together where we did everything together.
Say that again.
Yeah, we began to do nothing together where we used to do so the terms of condition change, but watch this. We didn't discuss them until it was too late. It was over. I was driving away. And I never asked her, are you okay with all this? Go ahead, Antoine.
Well, see, that kind of, sums up my point as to it's the capacity that can kill the attraction. So a lack of capacity for the ability to maintain the relationship kills the attraction that you have to the person. And so the only reason why I say, why I don't agree with the statement that you attract who you are is because the thing that goes through my head is I start to see these women then prepare themselves to be with a man, right? They begin to overly become moral. They become to work so hard on themselves to think that, okay, well, if I work too hard on myself, then that's going to get me a good man. That don't get you a good man because you don't have the capacity for the relationship. You need somebody else in the relationship to really show you where you are as far as your capacity. So to tell people that they attract who they are, I think puts an unfair expectation on them to become perfect to measure up when they already measure up. The issue is about expanding and growing your personal capacity in relationships so that you can do relationship well with somebody else. So we're focusing on the attraction part when I'm saying I think we should be helping people with the capacity part.
So what happens? I just heard this. So what? I ain't preaching. So Frank, what happens when everything else, the assignment and everything else grows, but the relationship or marriage don't grow? You're progressing, but you're not progressing in your marriage. That it's moving so fast that you're not moving with it. Go ahead. Who wants to talk?
That's why I was saying it's over time, because I agree with you, Bishop. Sometimes everything else about your life is doing well. Business, you talk about it. I've seen it happen. The business is growing. We making money. I'm thinking we doing great. And the whole time, the marriage was not going with it. So what happens is, I just seen this with a young fella. I tried to stop it, but he didn't listen. He got married. He started a church 1 month. 3 months later, he got married. And he got his wife pregnant on the honeymoon. So they had 3 babies growing at the same time. And I said to him, that is crazy. And he said, why? I said, because you raising 3 babies. Your church, your marriage is a baby, and your baby is going to be the baby. And I said, it's going to kill either 1, 2, or all 3. And exactly what I said is exactly what happened, because somebody's going to outgrow. One of the babies are going to outgrow the one you give the most energy to. So y'all know what energy he gave. He gave it to the ministry, but it affected the marriage and it affected the family. Sometime over time, things are affected because some things grow. I've seen it happen in my own life, ministry growing, business growing, and the marriage was not growing with it. And that's why I said, nephew, over time will prove the right one. Over time is why I say that, because if not, you'll see if it's not the right one.
I agree. I don't have anything to say. I've never been married. I'm taking notes from you guys. My only question was, I was just trying to figure out, is this Bishop? Hey, Dr. Orr, you shake your head, Candyman? Listen, I'm just taking notes. I ain't never been married. I'm just trying to figure out, when y'all talk about this transition, I'm trying to really grab what that looks like. And so I'm just really listening and owning in, because maybe it's just me. I'm still on my child precious like faith. So
and that's why you do a lot of talking and don't rush, so that you can get all the details.
Yeah.
And you don't make a sudden decision in 6 months or 3 months or whatever.
Bishop, did you just say focus on the details and not the tale?
Who said that?
That's what I heard in the spirit.
Okay, that's you heard it in a spirit.
Oh, okay.
But you know what?
Right.
But you know what? Because you know what? Right. Hold on, no. You did hear it, because I stopped short of saying, actually, that's why the virtual space should be good for you, because you can focus on, you go ahead of yourself sitting across the table from somebody. Frank, you've heard of that, right, Frank? Foodie, how food just gets people.
Yeah.
I'm asking the foodie.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You're so humble, nephew, tonight. That's the next question. Men, welcome, Prophet Perry. We're talking about when the right one comes. What are you doing to work on you to be ready for the right one? What are you doing? There you go, Johnson. That's what you said. It was coming. What are you doing as a man? Or you can put it as what people should be doing. You can use your personal, but what do you do to work on you to be ready for the right one?
Well, I go ahead and be transparent. Personally,
Roderick had a long time, Johnson, to work on his. It's been like 40 years. Go ahead, Johnson.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm working on learning how to share because I'm gonna have to share space. I'm learning how to focus, let me say this, redirect my focus because my life is not going to just be about me. When you're single and never been married and don't have any kids, to be honest with you, you kind of have license to be selfish because it's all about you, how you want to move. And so I'm really trying to learn. I'm trying to really anticipate, learn, think through. And some of the stuff you talked about earlier, Bishop, what life is going to look like with that other person in my life to the best that I can. Because some things are not going to happen until you get in it, but I'm trying to anticipate that.
Okay. Broderick?
Well, you know what? I just thought about something when you said what you said. Remember Mike Tyson said...
Since you was 15.
You said what, Bishop?
You ain't been married since you was 15.
That's true. That's true.
And how old are you now?
I'm 56.
Yeah, 15. 41 years.
So I was thinking about what Mike Tyson said. He said something about it's everybody's tough. But I think he said everybody's tough until they get punched in the face. I'm serious. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. Everybody's a tough guy until they get punched in the face. I'm a resident comedian, y'all. So, what Bishop? I was thinking about it because I was really hurt the heart of what Bishop Jackson was saying and what Pastor Johnson was saying. You know, and it's lucid, if you will. By that I mean, come on, Dwayne, come back in. You don't know. You know, you don't know. You never really know. There are people who've been married for 20, 30 years, and they're still finding out. So what is the relevance of capacity independent of the initial attraction? What is the relevance of capacity as well as the equity of evolution? And I don't want to be deep, but what I'm saying is there's like, watch this.
That's a great question.
Look at
That's
Bishop.
a great question, though, bro.
But you were saying it's like, how do you watch this, Bishop Jackson? What's the equation?
Yes, sir.
Because here's what gets my goat about some people. I hate when they say, "Oh, physical looks don't matter to me." Okay, until you get in that relationship, then they start telling you about your weight. They start telling you about your beard. I'm talking about from the man's perspective. They start telling, well, don't you want to? I thought at first. So my question is, watch this. I'm going here for a moment. What is the molecular makeup? Okay, what sets the groundwork for the relationship being legitimate?
So,
even though it evolves, Pastor Johnson, it's going to evolve. Listen, almost 30 years of divorcation has taught me, and I've been in a number of different relationships. I done been in about 5 or 10 since the pandemic started. Suffice it to say, they have all failed with the utmost epicality. But Bishop, what I'm here, made simple, it is challenging for me, 56 years young. I go in, they're beautiful. They love everything I do. I sing to them. I sow into their Cash App. They sow into mine sometime. And that's wonderful. but seem like somewhere along the line, okay, and hey, maybe it's me. My mind is evolving all the time, spiritually, entrepreneurially, all of that. And so sometimes I haven't found that one who, although we were both obviously attracted to each other initially, the evolutionary process.
That's good.
I don't get that far.
That's good.
Tell me what's wrong with me, Bishop Davis.
I just want you to answer the question. What are you doing to prepare yourself?
I'm
Savage.
trying to listen.
Savage.
I'm trying. Okay, independent of the other party.
You.
Okay.
Okay. Let me. Here's the question. You want to?
No, Bishop. Thank you, and I
What are
apologize.
you doing? No, you were good. What you said was good. I didn't understand none of those words, but you were good. I told you my humor is dry. Okay.
That's why I said savage.
What are you doing to work on you to be ready for the right one?
Well, I'm not going to use some of my other answers. I'm just listen.
40 years you've been. So what are you doing?
Well, here it is.
And just in 1 year, you told me you had 5 or 6 in 1 year.
No, I said 10.
God.
10 during the pandemic?
Probably at least 6 to 7. They last for a few weeks. We talk or whatever. Everything goes, this and that or whatever. But here's the thing, Bishop. Maybe that's my problem. Let me tell you something. And I was going to say this earlier, but I was trying to be serious. Bishop, and I've told you this before already. Oh, y'all not going to like. I'm going to get in so much trouble. Listen, you do what I tell you to do. That's your problem. Do what I tell you to do. So I'm having to work. I'm wonderful as long as I'm doing everything they want me to do. But the moment I start showing up, then I'm a monster and a dictator. But sometimes, to be honest with you, I just want to, hey, you do what I tell you to do. Okay? And you will be blessed.
So what are you doing to work on that controlling, manipulating spirit?
Wow. Well, here it is. If you come back in here, Bishop, I am dating more women. I gotta date it out of me.
You gotta work out his soul salvation.
With fear and trembling. Now that sounds funny.
I hear you.
But I think that might be some of what I'm doing, or definitely some of what I need to do. Bishop.
You said dated out of him?
Pastor Jay's look is the most precious look right now.
I'm being honest, Pastor.
You know
Pastor
what Pastor
Jay
Jay looking like? He ain't doing a doggone thing. All right. Frank, what are you doing? The question is, what are you doing to work on you to be ready for the right one? He's trying to find some kind of sound effect. I mean, if you ain't doing nothing, y'all just say nothing.
I woke up on the shallow side of bed today or something because my brain not working. I used to answer that question by saying, I'm preparing myself by being a debt-free man. I'm preparing myself by setting myself up to make certain purchases, to make sure I leave a legacy behind. But those are all things that I would do for myself without anybody. I just want to be better for me.
Talk, man.
So when I consider now that I'm more mature, what can I bring to the table to be of service to a special young lady in my life? It would be things now like being more patient, being more understanding, trying to put myself in a position where I'm not judging just from my eyes, but I'm able to put myself in her position as she looks through her lens at different things. So, those are my answers.
Perry.
Again, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Prophet.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to conquer my insecurities. A lot of times I'm at a place where I don't trust easily now. So I'm trying to conquer those insecurities in the regard of, because it's so easy to present the side of you that's secure, in a relationship. But I'm really working on my insecurities, areas that I have been deprived in previous relationships. I'm working on that. Then, i.e., my credit, getting my credit together. That's always essential. Getting my credit debt free, like Frank said, and then understanding now what is authentic commitment, because in my eyes, you could be committed, but there are different ways that commitment evolves. Commitment evolves in time. It looks differently. So I'm just working on my insecurities and how commitment should look, besides being solemnly exclusive. You know what I mean? Committed in, telling that special lady what's going on, where am I going, because I have a problem with, I don't like checking in. I feel like I don't like that checking in thing. I got to tell you, I'm going over here. No, I don't like all that. So I got to work on that. And then, I'm trying to get some new candy. Yeah.
Candy man.
All right, Joe, enlighten us. What are you doing as a man? Because somebody made the comment, I think it was Deanna, she said, women are taught to prepare for marriage, but men are taught to sow their wild oats, which is a very good comment. And so we're dispelling that tonight. What are you doing, Joe?
I don't want to be too long or too deep because I don't want y'all to scold me again. But I'm the comic relief like Roger. We can't be deep. We only can be funny. So we're streamlined. We're in a box. So we got to stick those boxes. Prepare myself to, for the right one, is to make sure that there's no remnants of past relationships in my new house with my new wife. And shedding those things that are obvious, but also trying to search through my life to figure out the things that show up that's not so obvious. Having an opportunity just to appreciate that person for who they are, and not based off some, as my brother Perry said, some insecurity or some issue that they need to feed in me through the relationship. So fixing myself so that I can be a whole person. I always say that the beauty in a miracle marriage, Antoine, is when God brings two entirely whole people together, and he disregard and disparage math and say two becomes one, and the math don't add up. So it becomes a miracle in just that. But if we enter these relationships a half person,
yes,
a fraction of ourselves, then it is not so much of a miracle. And so I'm making sure that I'm not giving a person a fraction of who I am. Through the experience of finding those things, searching out those things in my life and in my heart to make sure that I'm not bringing anything from the past in my relationships, making sure that all of my brokenness or traumas or issues are not needing to be fed through how they do me or how they treat me or how they look or how they move or how they dress or whatever it is. And then making sure, as I said earlier, that I'm postured not just to obtain them, but to maintain them, make sure I'm feeding them spiritually and not enter the relationship with some narcissistic approach that everything is about me. But not just that we can have a competition, that be a war between us, that we see who can take care of each other the most and feed each other the most. Just like the earth, we give the earth seed to give us fruit. We give a seed, give us fruit, give us seed, give us fruit. And that's what your marriage and relationship should be. So I'm just trying to find good soil and make sure I collect the proper seeds so I can sow into them so I can receive back what I give.
Bishop, I got a question.
Okay.
You said that someone made a comment. Now I've seen this comment multiple times. that we teach our women to be prepared for marriage, but we teach our men to sow their wild oats. Is that really still true?
I don't know if anybody's teaching anything. We talked about this early on the stage. I think that's kind of, unless we're doing platforms like this, I think that's where there's been a breakdown, that there's not many that have fathers in the home. That's, it kind of left before my generation, or right at my generation. So where they, I don't even know if they're teaching that or they're just doing it. I don't think the men have anybody to teach them anything.
I was gearing more towards the women.
I don't think
teaching them to be wives.
I don't think that's true anymore neither. I think it's on both sides. I don't think that you have those women, because you have mothers that are younger, you have grandmothers that are younger, and they're all hanging out and keeping up with each other. So I don't know if that's to be true neither.
Bishop, I think when they say that, I think they're talking more so from the preliminary stuff. I think what they're saying is, like, women are being taught to be committed, right? They're taking commitment as the foundation to say they're being prepared for marriage. I agree with you, Bishop, and you, Frank. Like, I don't really think that any of that is going on now. But I think when they make that statement, they're talking more from a fundamental, foundational standpoint, which is, hey, I'm being taught to be committed, understanding, yada, yada, yada. And men are kind of being taught, hey, do what you shall, do what you want until you are ready to settle down. I think that's what they're kind of applying to. But I mean, I'm in agreement with y'all. I don't think that either one are necessarily being taught today.
Yeah, there's no wife academy. There's no.
It's teaching them to get the money.
Empowerment. It's hidden in women's empowerment. That's what they think it is.
Yeah, but they don't be
Frank,
talking about.
I'm in agreement where you about to go.
Yeah. They don't be talking about being no wives now. They be talking about live your best life. And
get in the bag. Get in the bag.
Secure your bag, sis.
How to get?
You don't need no man, sis.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing that all that for him, sis.
Yeah.
So I'm that comment overall, that stereotype of women being prepared for marriage and men sowing their wild oats, I think in 2021 is a dead statement.
Facts.
Facts.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, can I answer the Bishop question on what I'm doing? Because I think everyone hit a really valid point. We talked about
before you do that, Dwayne. Thank everybody. We were at 400, so if we could keep going, if you invite and share the numbers overall, we've hit 400 a couple times. So if you can keep inviting and sharing, go ahead, Dwayne.
Thank you, Mike Tyson, for coming tonight. We appreciate you.
Wow.
No, I think to really answer that question, Bishop, from a very transparent state, I'm learning how to manage my emotions better. I think one thing that we don't really talk about is the passion of a man, right? The passion of a man sometimes can mismanage the emotions of a woman, especially when there could be levels of trauma there. And I'm honest enough to admit, that's why I found me a therapist over the last, 7-8 months, because I wanted to be better in my emotions. And what I mean by that is, no, I'm not abusing a woman or anything like that. But sometimes in conversation, when trauma begins to build up, you can say things. And so I'm learning how to deal with that, so that way, when we come to a place of tension, when we come to a place of we're bumping heads, how to be, I don't want to say bigger, because I think that demeans the other person, right? But how to just be a person that can convey through communication properly without it being a strong level of, consistent clashing of the heads. And so that's one of the things I'm working on, and I'm honest about that, and I try to share that with other young brothers as well.
All right.
Can I go back at the can I please go at the comment section for just 1 minute, Bishop?
Why you
Please.
paying attention to them comments? Go ahead.
I ask your permission. Everybody in the comments saying that they're all women who desire marriage. No, there are women on a mass scale who desire to be brides but not wives.
Oh, whoa.
That's the same thing I said. Yeah, I get it.
You can tell by what the focus is on. Your makeup, your eyelashes, your hair, all the stuff that you make sure is done up at the wedding ceremony. But we not working on your spirit, your servitude, your ability to apologize,
character,
your ability to be meek and humble.
Right.
I'm going back on mute now. Go. I just want to go back at the comment section
no,
right quick.
No. Where did he go?
He's still there.
That's good. I know that hurts. Like, I know it'll hurt somebody's ego or she-go. That's good. If I really had the power, I'd make you say that again. I don't. I'm just saying if I had the power. Why? Really brides, not wives.
That's correct.
Is that what you said?
That's correct.
And then you said something about servitude. Oh Lord, we don't talk about that. Don't talk about servitude.
That's really good.
Just talking about what I'm talking about. I'm done, Bishop. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. We're talking about when the right one comes, what it looks like to the gentleman. My second question is, what does the right one look like to you?
Wow.
What does the right one look like to you?
Physically, Bishop?
Hold on. Since they're saying that men are not prepared and they're sowing their wild oats and all that, what does the right one look like to you as a man individually?
Tracy Ellis Ross.
I was waiting. I was waiting.
Tracy Ellis Ross. But definitely a woman that's partner minded. For me, I definitely want a woman that is attractive. That's of course subjective based on what I personally like. But a woman that is partner minded, a woman that wants to build something together. And for me, one that is that knows how to work in conflict resolution. That's important to me because peace is primary to my life. I am not productive without peace. So to have a woman that is conflict resolution oriented, she knows how to talk about a problem, talk through a situation, but there's finality brought to the situation, is highly attractive to me. Not one that we just keep bringing it up, it just comes back up, it leaks back up, but a woman that's like, yo, let's really solve this problem and move beyond it. That's everything to me.
Michael?
Well, for me, and I think I'm gonna stick here, even though I ran into a problem here. I thought the right one for me was someone who I already saw grinding themselves. They were building their business, and for me, it would be they would understand me, and then we can build together. Versus someone, Frank, who's building the thing and she wants to stay independent. That's where I run into the problem, is that you're building, but you want to build separate from me. So I'm with Bishop. I want to build on that teamwork. I want to build on that. And so the right one for me is someone, when I hear her talking, that I want to get in a marriage and we play on the same team. I want to get in a marriage and we grow together and we build some things together. That's going to seem like the right one for me. And definitely, Bishop, you got to have a prayer life. I need to know that you pray, not that you telling me like we getting off the phone and you be like, can I pray with you, or something is going on and you know what, I got you, and you text me, Bishop or Perry, and say, listen, I'm praying for you today. Like you preached on 3 different platforms and everywhere, Perry, for a text to come to you, even if you didn't get a chance to talk to her, and she say, I'm praying that God just really bless you and use you. That for me is powerful. That for me is because I know she's not just saying it, but she's doing it. And if I should happen to hear you have a prayer life, you have a relationship with God, that helps me. It's what I'm looking for the right one. I mean, beauty and all of that. We all want something that looks great, but I need more than just looks. I was getting ready to send Bishop a question for one of our other shows. Is looks enough? You got to be able to tell me not what you wear on the outside, but what is on the inside of you is what I'm looking at. Because I done seen all that glitter, Broderick, and it ain't gold. I done seen lips, hips, and fingertips, and they've been a disappointment. So for me, no longer am I dealing with that. I'm dealing with someone who is ready to say, I got all the fingertips, but Frank, if it came down to it, I'm popping these nails off, and we got to get real serious, and we got to go at it. So I'm looking for somebody to say, don't worry about this hair, I'll pull it back. I'll pull it back in a ponytail, and we rocking with this together. This is you and me. So that's where I'm at, Bishop.
It is so amazing to me, ladies, y'all answering for the men instead of y'all listening to the men. I mean, I'm just like, y'all came here to get the men and get their perspective, but y'all answering what they want. I mean, because I see all y'all saying must have a prayer life. Are y'all listening to them, what they're saying? Like, for real. This is when the right one comes, men's perspective. And that's the reason why, I told John Terrius this today. He came on stage in Clubhouse. Three of the most profound things that were spoken from this here thing. Learn them, listen to them, and love them.
Yeah.
Y'all don't listen. Okay, thank you. You were green. I apologize.
My spirit then got on you, Bishop.
Because I want to say this. He probably say praying, but let me tell you something. Y'all agreeing with that. But I know some women that had an awesome prayer life, but they won't give you no peace. Neither do they know how to talk to the man right. They talk to God right.
They talk to God right. They don't talk to that man right.
I need a hooping track on that one. They talk to God right.
I don't have my hoop track.
They talk to God right, but they don't know how to talk to the man right.
Mm-hmm.
And so while having a good prayer life, I ain't taking away from what Claiborne's saying at all, but y'all was agreeing. You do need a woman. I do. I want a woman that's ratchet and can pray.
Yes, sir.
I want a ratchet prayer woman.
You got to use that mouth.
I want a ghetto and a hood.
Yes, sir.
I want a thought and somebody that can walk in the White House with me. And let me tell y'all this. I have been to the White House 2 times, and I've been to inauguration two times. And other than Pastor Kim going with me the first time, and we were in the midst of getting ready to get divorced, so it was miserable because we weren't even talking to each other just about. But the other times, I'm going to be very honest with you. I didn't take anybody polished. I took somebody, because I was single, I took somebody that could enjoy the experience and they will remember me for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all didn't get that.
Yeah.
That they'll say, you know what? We didn't make it, but that Negro right there, look where he took me at. And so while prayer life is good, I need somebody that can fight too.
Mm-hmm.
I need somebody.
But that's what I said.
No, I know. I'm picking up. This wasn't nothing to you at all. I was just pick out the prayer part. Everybody picked out the prayer part you said though. But anyway, that's just Frank, you rubbing off on me.
Hit that track, Frank. Hit that track.
Yeah, hit that thing. I like that.
Yep.
Oh, geez.
That wasn't me.
It just came off of Pentecost. We might as well just go ahead and give it up here tonight.
Yeah, savage. Yeah. So for those of y'all that would agree with him, I apologize. I wasn't trying to go off, but I'm just saying, don't just pick that part out. Don't just pick that part out. Yeah. Go ahead. Who else wants to go?
They pray to God in tongues, but don't know how to use their tongue on their man.
I'm surprised. Candyman, I'm surprised.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, no. Candyman, why you not getting excited about that?
All right,
Baby. What it do, baby? Yeah, you already know.
So, what does the right one look like to you, Johnson? Other than the hat in the second row.
Bishop, I was gonna say you already know.
To my lovely wife, stand up, wife.
That's right, First Lady. That's right, First Lady. But I think I said this, and I've in our earlier shows, in our first shows. I want someone that knows how to minister to the minister as he ministers to the people. I want somebody. I know y'all think that I want the hat and all that type of stuff. Not really. We just joke about it. But I want somebody that's only for me, not for the church. So I'm looking for a true pastor's wife, my wife, not the first lady y'all really think I'm looking for.
You converted a soul, Bishop.
No, because I'm not looking for ratchet, and no, I'm not looking. For
we saying you at least got off the hat a little bit. It's been a 42-week journey.
Yeah, I want progressive, contemporary. Yeah, I'll say more. I want a progressive, a strong woman, but I don't want nobody in the pulpit either. So I'm in between.
That ain't got nothing to do with that. It got to do with you being traditional Baptist.
I don't want no prophetess, no evangelist,
no co-pastor.
Oh no, sir.
He almost said something else, Broderick.
right. We pulled it out.
Made that man. He was gonna turn the preacher in another. He was getting ready to be Joe for a minute, boy.
Who didn't answer so far? Go ahead, Dwayne.
Bishop AJ, you don't want to answer first?
I did. I already did. Answer at the beginning.
Man, Frank, you make me feel like hooping that thing out with that track. Just give it to it.
That ain't me. That's I don't know who that is with it. I think that's Antoine.
Ooh, grab your neighbor by the hand. Grab your neighbor by the hand. Whoa. Now don't push me now. Don't push me. Slow down, music.
He just downloaded that. You are so quick.
Bishop,
that's
I think and my good fellow brethren, I think for me, if I could be honest, I want someone who understands Dwayne. I think there is let's thank you, Aunt, for saying prayer life, because I do think that's important, and Bishop is saying that's important, but his caveat was really good as well. Let's take the spiritual side out for just one moment. I want somebody who understands who I am as the person, because there are times when my heart and my burden is heavy, and I need kind of her to know where that is and not think that it's too much, not think that it's too little, or not necessarily demonize it because she doesn't necessarily understand it. And this doesn't have anything to do with church or anything. This just has everything to do with being a person. I think oftentimes we always talk about, Bishop, you said it, we always talk about prayer and the spiritual components. But Bishop AJ, here's your favorite word. We don't talk about personal growth.
Come
on. I want someone, if I said, hey, we going to Mexico, I don't want her to fight me because she can't see the plan. I want her to trust me because she knows that if I say that we're going there, there must be a reason and that everything is going to work out. And, I really believe in that because I'm unorthodox. And so there are orthodox parts of my life, but I need her to understand those unorthodox parts and know that I'm never going to put her in, danger of anything, but that I'm moving within the parameters of who I'm churchy for a minute, who I'm called to be. So I want her to really understand that part of me. That's the best answer I got.
So Dwayne, you brought up something I want to stick at, and Perry and all of y'all can bring. And I know Frank might have something to say on this. You said something, that you said if I say I want to go to Mexico, they just need to trust you. Have you ever been out on dates before where you're taking somebody out and they got to know everything about it? Like, where you taking me? What we doing? I think this is just me talking. This is just Greg Davis talking. This is just me talking.
I can't stand.
Do you think that person could be semi-controlling?
To really answer your question, Bishop, I think it's a yes and a no. Because I want to play both sides of the fence really quickly. So yes, I do think they could be semi-controlling, but then no, because what if trauma? What if they have experienced something that has caused a level of trauma in their life? And so I do think that you have to recognize, Bishop, which one is which, right? And I think all of us up here can tell if it's controlling or if it's just a trauma and she needs to work through it until she gets to the point of trusting you fully.
Leave that up, Melinda. No, I just like to be prepared.
Oh, shut up.
Now, I know to prepare with caution with this one. I hear you.
Oh, click.
But that's not the case in all situations. If you're dating somebody for a while and the person says, get dressed, what you need me to wear? You can wear some jeans and whatever. That's not enough to prepare. You got to trust me. Sometimes men just like to surprise you and woo you and wow you. And I just think when a person keeps, where are we going? What are we doing? Where we? I just think, and maybe it's this. Maybe they have them. Maybe you see other controlling attributes, and this is a part of it too.
Can they put up DD comments?
I shut that down from the door, Bishop. If I'm gonna take you somewhere and I don't want you to know, I'm not telling you. Just get dressed. And usually I don't have a kickback too much on that. It's like, okay, just get dressed. I'm not telling you where I'm taking you. I'm just taking you and I'm picking you up.
You can take DD comment down now.
DD, I'm sure you're a wonderful lady. But maybe that's the ones you've been out with.
The men up here know how to pick good places.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd be well pleased. All right. You may need to change the men that you're. Yes, it is, Bishop. I just need to know how I need to look. That's why, and that's what I said, Clee. That's why I said what I said.
But Bishop, I'm not just talking about date. I'm also talking about like your destiny, right? Like we've heard the stories. Like I've heard the story of one of my good, and I'll just use him for the sake of the conversation. A good preaching buddy. I won't say his name. He was like, whenever it was time for him to shift cities, and not because he was unstable, it's just his assignment changed. His wife never fought him on the change of the place because she was with him because she liked him, because she loved him, not because she loved the assignment. And that's I kind of want to just really abstract from that, because I think so many times we meet people and we like what they do, but when you like the person, if Dr. Onpun says, I'm out of this town and I'm going to another town, are you willing to go? Or are you going to fight and be like, well, my baby father is here and I want him to be closer? I'm not saying don't consider all of that. I'm just saying when you really are tapped in and in tuned in with somebody, this is just my feelings. Y'all got a little bit more time. Y'all been married, so y'all can correct me. My feelings is when you are tapped in with an individual and you rock with that individual, if she change, if she say, I got a job offer, I know a couple, no lie, Bishop. The husband moved here for a job and the wife came and she left her job in Fayetteville or North Carolina or someplace like that, where she was making a good, decent money, but he made more, so he moved here. Well, the roles switched. She got a good offer in New York, and they moved to New York. And one of my friends asked the husband, said, "You willing to go to New York like that? Like just leave your job and go to New York?" And he was like, "Yeah, because she did it for me." And I guess what I'm really abstracting here is, do you love me enough to transition with me? Back to that word y'all said earlier, transition with me when it comes to even moving, if we have to move for different assignment reasons, whether professional
So nephew, can I add this piece to it real quick, nephew? Because I know you pulled it out, and I see where you were going with it from the natural side. But this is why I'm not talking about. There's a difference in saying a prayer and praying, having a prayer life. There's a difference, because when you have a prayer life, you praying about, how do I, Lord, help me to understand my man, help me to walk with him even when I don't understand it. When you have a prayer, too many people, Bishop Antoine, pray. They say a prayer, but they don't have a praying life. And when you have a praying life, it will help guide you in those areas about me. Do you know, even in my relationship, I'm often praying. Like I pray every day, nephew, like 2 times a day, at least the minimum. And I'm always in my relationship saying, Lord, help me to understand her better, even in different phases. We've been together for 5 years. Will it help me to know who she is in this 5th year? I'm always praying about that because I don't want to miss the mark, taking my own self in this. So while I understood where you were going, trying to make the separation, because people don't, but I think we need to put it back in there, because if your wife was praying and even when she didn't understand the Mexico situation, she's praying, Lord, help me to just stand with my husband. Help me to not question this, because I don't know where it is, because you may not always know it, because we don't always know it. Sometimes God tells us a small piece and he don't tell us everything else. But I want to add the prayer back into it. And I don't, again, not what Bishop said is so true. I want a woman to be able to do all those other things and what you're saying. But I think that what is missing, because I do know women that pray, but I question what their prayer is really attached to. They're trying to be deep in their prayer, Bishop Antoine, trying to be wonderful. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about somebody who prays on every area and said, Lord, help me in this area, help me in that area. When you have a prayer life and not just you saying a prayer. So I want to add it back into what you're saying. I agree with you, nephew. I just want to add that piece back into it.
I want to say though, I respect that, Prophet Claiborne. I think that is important. But in my world, I want a wife, I want a woman that listens, so you'll know how to. I think listening precedes the prayer. I
will agree with you,
because if you have a listening life, your prayer life will be intact. You need to be able to listen and then yet comprehend what I am saying.
That's it.
Comprehend, so you'll know how to pray. And a lot of times we say that prayer life thing. We speak, and I'm not saying you, but I'm saying a lot of times we speak that from a cultural perspective, a religious perspective. I don't really care about all that. I don't need you to know how to hoop and do all that GZG stuff. I need you to be able to listen and comprehend, so that when you do, i.e. talk to God, you'll know how to express yourself to God concerning what I am saying. A lot of times we're praying, but we're not comprehending what we're praying about in the regard of which it is, because faith come by hearing. If you ain't hearing nothing, then what are you praying about? So that's where I am.
But prophet, wait, I agree with you, but what if she can't hear you? Doesn't she need to talk to God to help her to hear you and understand you?
No. The man is the man is the head and the lead. That's what the problem is now. They are praying to change the man and change what the man wants.
Bishop.
Instead of
no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if she don't understand me.
Hold on, listen to the bishop.
If you listen to me and learn me, then we will be in agreement, and you will pray not against what I want. Like, let's just use this. I want to move to Miami, and she praying, let's move to Iowa. No, that's confusion. No, I'm
Agreed.
sorry.
I agree with you on that. I wasn't talking from that space. I wasn't.
But
No, I'm not talking about confusion.
And then what you talking about? Somebody that can pray the mind of what you have, not our own separate will. That is witchcraft. That's a spirit of Jezebel. That's a spirit of control.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
I'm missing what I'm saying.
That was
no. We
Claiborne, you come from a different.
Position.
Yeah, Claiborne, you come from a different. I know you coming from a different. Yeah, you come from a different. Yeah.
Hey, we hear you loud and clear. Your point is not devalued. But I think me, Frank, and Oren, we're just in a different space. I'm gonna tell you, I know I'm in a different space. And while the prayer is good, like really unpack something that Bishop just said. You know why we fail in relationships? This just real talk, because we get with people and it's surfacey at first. And then when we start really pulling back the onion, we find out like, well, my ambition don't really match her ambition, or her ambition don't really match my ambition, or I have ambition and what she have is, because oftentimes we be like, oh, I don't, stableness is, not stableness, comfortability, right? Comfortability is not bad if that works for you. There are some people who are comfortable with work, children, church, home. But then there are some people who like, no, I want more than just those 4 categories. And I think what happens to us as people when we get into a relationship and the onion begins to peel back, I realize that there are 6 different ways that I'm going, and she might be going 3, or she might be going 6, and I might be going 3. And we're solely trying to make it work. Hit my heart on. We're solely trying to make it work off of we love Jesus or we got a prayer life, but we can't necessarily make it all the way work off of that. I think that is the foundation. I do, but I think what we make it work off of is understanding our dimensions of each other. And when we understand the dimensions of each other, then what we can do is integrate them and be like, oh, okay, this is how we move. And I really think that is the reason why some of us, we get caught up in places where it's like, hey, it's weird and it doesn't work after a while, because I can't bring 6 dimensions and she bring 3 unless she's okay with that, or unless he's okay with that, and we're able to maneuver and have it work. But if she's not okay with that, we're gonna always clash heads, because she cool with her 9 to 5. I'm not. I'm cool with my 9 to 5, but I want to work these 3 businesses over here, and I don't want to be deemed as I'm doing too much. That's just who I am.
Bishop Davis, may I ask this question? It's in line with what's being said. I just wrote this down. I mean this from my heart. To the ladies, I want you to hear this question. Are you joining him for his purpose, or just connecting with him for your preference? I don't mean to be facetious, chauvinistic, but I want to ask this question one more time. Are you joining him, that man that he's going to lead and provide and protect, not because you need him to, but that's the way God has set up the order? Are you joining him for his purpose, or just connecting with him for your preference? I always go back to Genesis chapter 2. God formed that man, put that man to sleep, took a rib from that man, fashioned a woman, you beautiful, sexy, intelligent, educated women. But then God brought that woman, everything she was, God brought that woman to the man for the man. And in my own mind, that woman looked at Adam and said, baby, you the man. But I want you to consider this question. Are you joining him for his purpose, or just connecting with him for your preference?
Now, Dwayne, Broderick wasn't in the room earlier. I said this very thing. I said when we begin to understand, Antoine,
you did
the purpose of a woman, we would not. Our question was in the room today, the battle of the sexes. There will be no battle at all if everybody understands their purpose and place within the scheme of marriage. It's God, it's the man following God and the woman following. So when you say, I just saw somebody say, I'm going to pray for direction for us. No, the direction is if the man feels like this is what, yes, you can ask questions. It's not a dictatorship. Baby, are you sure this is what you really feel? And boom, 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 boom. But at the end of the day, you should not marry a man that you don't trust to give direction to you. Because the way Broderick is explaining it, and I saw Vincent come in, Ray, Vincent that used to be on the road, he said,
yeah, he takes me.
Sarah followed Abraham.
Correct.
It's that simple. See, we want to quote scriptures when it's convenient. But if we really look at the order of things with man and woman, y'all may not like it. We want to quote everything that's against the man. But we don't quote anything the place of the woman. And I'm very careful when I say place, because y'all think that I'm trying to put y'all in your place. But at the end of the day, there is a structure, and everything that was made by order. And I think that there are too many women that are praying against what the man wants because they don't like preference. They don't like what the man want to do. So then that's why you got to talk. That's why comprehension and communication is even greater. I mean, no harm. Prayer is, I want a woman that's ratchet and can pray. Okay. But at the end of the day, I don't want a woman that's praying against what I believe and sense. Now, a real man would come back and say, baby, I miss God.
That's it. That's it, Bishop.
A pastor will come and say to the church, because we will miss it. You can't be married to somebody. My grandfather and them was married 60-some years. He done missed it before. Okay. And I think that's the greatest man ever lived in my book. Okay. But he missed it. So at the end of the day, the reason why we have all this and that and this and that is because everybody don't understand their place.
Bishop, go a step further. Everybody don't understand love. That's why I think it's imperative that we understand this, Bishop, because I think you're really bringing a point. You're bringing a really strong point here. The Bible says love covers a multitude of sins. If we miss it, it's not for you to condemn us. It's for you to help us understand or us come to an understanding of how we can make this better. I think when you ask that question, Broderick, of preference, I think that's where we are in the world. Everybody wants preference. Nobody really wants the structure of God. And I think it is really destroying not just romantic relationships, but I think it's destroying many relationships, right? Let's go to father and mother, natural father and mother. We teach people how to submit to their spiritual fathers and mothers, but we don't tell them to go back and make the relationship right with their biological parents. When the Bible says, honor thy mother and father, that your days may be long upon the earth. So we want romantic relationships right, but we haven't necessarily put into context all of the relationships that we have. And guess what? Me honoring my father, whether he was in my life or not, that's not in the scripture. It's not contingent there. It didn't say whether he was a good father or not. It just said honor them, right? And I think if we get the confines of relationship right concerning multiple relationships, father to son, son to mother, mother to children, father to children, so forth and so forth, I think we get this part of relationships right as well.
Hey, Bishop, I just want to throw this in this conversation. I think that we don't know the difference between value and rank. So when we hear that conversation about marriage and wife, we oftentimes go like this in our head, right? We have all equal value. She's the wombed man, or the male that carries the fetus, female, right? So she's no less than the man. It's literally just understanding how the ecosystem of the relationship work. And I would just like to insert this in this conversation for somebody that's struggling with it. I think the reason why we need to understand capacity in relationships is simply this. When we're talking about whether we should go to Mexico or not, this should be something that should been established as a mission in our relationship. Because if we don't have a mission, we have nothing to submit to. So we think that oftentimes we're telling wives to submit to husbands and husbands submit to wives, that it's just based on somebody's whimsical ideas. That's what the church has to get away from, because that can hold a man or a woman in bondage. It isn't just submitting to somebody's whimsical idea. There has to be a mission established for there to be submission. So there has to be something that we both put ourselves under, and somebody has to be the guard of that mission. That's why he gives the husband. The husband is the guard of the mission. So when we're trying to get us to actually submit, the husband has the responsibility to say, this is what we agreed to. This is what we're focusing on. And I'm ensuring that our relationship moves in that direction. But it also gives the woman the right to be able to speak into the relationship, to pray into the relationship, because the husband himself can get off of the mission. And so how does she get him back on what is subjective? There's something that's subjective there. And I think that we're talking in this relationship stuff.
Absolutely.
I think we camp out in the feelings realm, the mystical realm too much. And we don't bring subjectivity into relationships that make us really not be able to function together and have healthy relationships.
So that goes to the point of what somebody just said. Do I let him? Okay, don't say nothing, just let him fall in the hole and then I heal his wounds. No. I think what you're saying, Antoine, you correct me. Mm-hmm. That's why you got to make sure you with somebody that's in tune.
Yes.
As long as he's following God, then you follow.
Yes.
Is that simple?
Yes, sir.
It's not saying nobody has, but at the end of the day, as long as he's following God, then you follow him. We're talking about somebody that's following God.
Yes.
That's the key part. We talk sometimes from our experiences of being with somebody that didn't. That's not a good example in this situation of what we're presenting, you know? All right, y'all, we don't win a whole.
But this is so good, Bishop.
Yeah.
Because I think
he came late, but he started this part. Go ahead, Broderick. What were you saying?
What simplifies is what you were saying to us, Bishop Jackson, honoring the order. Because if not, man, we just gonna be. It's just like when we come on this show. You give us great freedom, but at the same time, when you say, gentlemen, hey, no, it don't make a difference what we were gonna say. Maybe we can say that later or at another time, but we honor the order because we respect the author.
See, even when we get to the oh, thank you so much. I'm getting all kind of like comments about the show tonight. I think even when we talk about submission, because that's kind of really what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. I said this on Frank's show. I do remember that because I was sleepy that night. Submitting one to another. That's where I'm at. Not just you submit to me, we submit to one another. And then somebody said, well, who has veto power? You know? Yeah. Who has veto power? Mm-hmm. If you trust the man that he's following God, then you will, it's got to be somebody that's submit. Go ahead, Frank. What you because you've been cooking over there for like 30 minutes.
I'll admit I'm challenged. I'm challenged with this conversation. I'm challenged when it comes to as long as he's submitted to God, follow him. I'm challenged by that.
That's not a Christian way of doing things, though, Frank.
The unbelieving wife is sanctified by the believing husband, and vice versa. So we have stipulations there that even if one is not saved and they are married, that one is sanctified.
Woman that sanctifies the man.
It's I think it's vice versa. Either or. Who's ever saved and one is not saved,
okay,
I believe they sanctify each other. So I think there are some loopholes there with as long as they are following God. I think that once you are married, for instance, if a married woman is a churchgoer and her husband is not, and her husband says to her, "Baby, I want you to stay home this Sunday," what does she do? That's a real question.
What would I tell her to do as a pastor?
No. What should she do by?
I'm saying I think she should stay home.
Okay. So he's not following God. He's not following God.
But that's her husband.
Still a husband. So
yeah,
she still got to be submitted.
And I've given that. The reason why I say as a pastor, because I've given that advice to women before. Baby, listen now. You listen to your husband because he probably got a bigger gun than me. I want him coming up here saying Bishop David said.
So
right.
So that's why, as y'all was talking, my spirit was challenged by that statement. As long as he's following God, I was really challenged with it because there are many instances where they are not equally yoked. But once you're in it, the rules still apply, regardless if he's on track with following God. And that's just my thought process with it.
Can I ask this question?
This lady, she said go to church. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, the only reason why I'm challenged with that statement is because nobody has the choice of your human will, though. So I don't think that the rules of obedience to submission has to do with that person's physical person or their ability to make a choice. It is the person making a choice that impacts the marriage or the relationship. So it has to be something a little bit more subjective than just him saying, "I don't want you to go to church today." There should be some more, there can be a clarifying question as to why.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? More than just, "Hey, I don't want you to do that." Because I think that kind of, to me, for a woman for us to just say, "Hey, you just stay home because he said stay home," to me does not lend enough subjectivity as to why he can control somebody's human behavior.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only challenge with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know that our jurisdiction goes that far. I don't think that is what the Bible is specifically speaking to when it's saying, "Hey, the relationship or following your husband or submitting to your husband means that your husband gets to cross certain dignity lines."
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing that I'm just kind of wrestling with in my head with that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you go to church, if you want to go to church, you go to church, and then you come back home and you tell him why you wanted to go to church, and then y'all assess what is the impact of that on the relationship. What is the impact of me going to church on the relationship? Is it something greater than me going to church? Do you not trust me going to church? Do you not trust somebody there? Like, there has to be more subjectivity than the ability to control somebody's human behavior.
Just because he says so.
No doubt about it.
What if it says, "Baby, this is the only day I got, and I want you to spend time with me"? It's nothing controlling.
Okay.
It's just that he wants to spend time with his wife on a Sunday. Just that simple. You mean tell me she can't miss church one time?
He can't spend time with her on Saturday?
Well, he just said that his only off day is Sunday.
Oh, okay, got it. Got it. Okay.
I'm just saying there are extenuating circumstances. I mean, we all got our opinion. My thing is, I'm like the lady said, late Bishop Abney said to his daughters, "Y'all stay home if you tell it." you know, and I'm not just speaking from my opinion, I'm speaking as a pastor, because I don't want to ever tell people to overrule their husband. That's not my place. And maybe that submission will cause them to say, well, maybe that church is doing some good for her because she listened to me.
And even with the challenge with as long as he's following God, sometimes our gods don't sound alike.
Frank.
So the thing with order and submission becomes difficult in today's time because, again, like you mentioned, value and rank.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, according to the order system, who outranks who when it comes to the decision making? I mean, there are some. While there are some grays, there are also some black and whites.
Yes, sir.
And so this conversation is very challenging in 2021 with where we are as a society and still trying to be Bible oriented. It can be very challenging.
The Bible.
I just don't.
The Bible says that the letter
agree.
killeth, but the spirit. Whoa. Can I say this? The letter killeth, but the spirit, or the pneuma, the breath, the wind, the original intent provides life. So it is the pneuma, the breath, the wind, the force, the original intention, more so than just the letter of do this, do that, you shouldn't do that, or our own surmising. It's just like if Bishop would have told me tonight, like Bishop tells me things, or he'll say something, I know he's not trying to hurt me. Listen, sometimes when I get off this show, Bishop, I really think about something you said, and it hits me. And I said, he was right. You know, you said it joke. You said it was joke. You may have said it jokingly, but it hit. It hit good, and it helped me.
Let me ask y'all. I do want to ask y'all this.
Question.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Frank.
Go ahead.
No, my question is that submission, is it contingent upon each marriage, or is that just a broad statement? Is that just the standard for everybody? Because in my eyes, you know, I think it's based upon each marriage, individual marriage, more so than a generalized statement across the board. Because I've had situations in my church when, and like Bishop said, you know, I've told somebody, look, you know, come to church, or then you tell them not to come to church. Either way, I don't think that you should ever make a pivotal decision in a marriage, because at the end of the day, you're going to be blamed for it as the pastor or as the individual, you know. So I think it's based upon, you know, and then the woman comes home and say, oh, the pastor said, hey, you've made your marriage a threesome, and I'm not even there. So, you know, you got me in your bed and I'm not even there. So I think it's based upon each individual marriage more so than a generalized statement across the board. And that goes from the woman having dialogue with God to learn how to have a monologue or a dialogue with her husband more so than a monologue. So that's my concept with that. I think it's based upon each individual marriage as far as that submission piece, because terms and conditions change based upon each person. Is that y'all agree with that? Or?
Well, we changed to that, Perry. We wasn't there. The old church was not there. But I'm grateful for the new church. We did spend that. I too don't be like, look, I'm not getting into that. If your husband say stay home, stay home. Now, have there been key people that wanted to be there and needed to be there? Absolutely, but we try to stay out of it. But the old church was straight across the board at one point. It was just like, you know, come to church, you know, and that was it. But that became a problem later on. So we made some changes, we made some shifts, but we always gear into winning people. And so, as Bishop said, it may be the piece that help bring in, maybe help him see. I know for me, there are a lot of men who have joined my church because they saw how I carried. They kept saying, you're different than a lot of pastors. You know, I can trust that, because I met them where they were. Sometimes I would tell wives, don't invite them to Sunday because you've been doing that and they're not coming. But we get ready to have this other event. And when I did my marriage retreat, Frank, a lot of men joined my church, Broderick, off the marriage retreat. because those husbands, it was at a resort. They wanted to go there. They can go ahead and be. I said, listen, whatever your husband do, don't nobody be shocked. So if you see somebody's husband at the place and he getting himself a drink, just go along with it, because we're not here for that judgment piece. And but those men appreciate it, because you know what they said, man, I can feel comfortable here. They showed up. Well, because it would be the whole weekend. So I said, okay, if y'all come Sunday. And they would come Sunday, and they wound up coming and joining. So I'm with Bishop. I think sometime when you come from a different angle, you may win people that. But I also believe that, we got to move it, Perry, from being across the board to definitely being an individual thing.
Johnson was about to say something. I would like to hear what his input was right there.
Well, a couple of things. I never really had an issue with someone spouse telling them not to go to church. I think that is something that we have to be very careful about, because worship is very important. However, it's been my practice that in order for that sister to serve in ministry, to hold a ministry position, the pastor always respected the authority of the home, so I always made sure that I got permission. As a matter of fact, I ordained a couple of deaconess with the permission of their husbands. Their husbands end up joining the church, becoming faithful members of the church, and then after a couple of years, I end up ordaining them as deacons.
Wow.
So respecting the authority and the priests. I'm the priest of the church. He's the priest of that home. So, but now I think I struggle with some of the things you all said earlier. This is what I struggle with. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church.
Yes.
Wives, obey or submit to the authority of how I interpret it, to the husband who loves you as Christ loves the church. I mean, when I'm studying that text, I see how God is talking in concession here.
I don't know.
I don't see that. I don't see that being separated.
I don't know. I don't know, Johnson. I don't know.
There's subjectivity there.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to do some exegetical work.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to get out. We're gonna have to get out.
I think they are two separate responsibilities. But look, what I was aiming at is our challenge. I just gave a scenario. I just gave a situation. What I was aiming at is with the challenge today with order. That's a bad word. Rank. That's a bad word, because it challenges me, because everywhere else they go, they have to abide by certain rules and stipulations, and there's rank on their job. They got a manager. They got a supervisor. They got a general manager. They have the owner of the company. Sororities. They got big sisters. There's rank in every other part of the world, but when it comes to marriage, for some reason, even in Christian marriages, now we don't want to talk about rank no more. Now it's why we can't respect and value each other as equals. But everywhere else, there's rank. That's just my.
You're right. You're right. But I think that it's the picture of those words that I think was causing the issue. Because if you're looking at order like a stair step, instead of realizing that it's more like this is an ecosystem. A relationship
no doubt about it.
Is an ecosystem that brings about health. And so order means understanding function and knowing how to yield. So these conversations about knowing how to yield to somebody's responsibility, knowing that it's not that this person is greater than me, it is knowing how to yield to somebody's responsibility, and that's what order and rank means. So it's really understanding that it's more of an ecosystem, that what gets us to health, what gets us to our goal, what gets us to our mission. And so when I look at the scripture, the Jewish concept didn't even see women as equal. So when I look at what Jesus did, Jesus was equaling out and bringing women up in their value. We're not Jew nor Greek, bond nor free, male nor female. We're all one in Christ Jesus. And so in understanding that oneness, now we can function together to bring about healthy families. So I think that that's what the issue is It's the perspective that we're looking at the words order and submission, because we see it as putting ourselves under somebody else instead of realizing that we're looking at the mission, and that's the big thing, and we yield to each other to get that done. That's the thing we're both focused on, not somebody's own personal preferences. We're focused on something bigger than ourselves.
Is that the mission you were talking about earlier?
That's the mission I'm talking about. That's why I think it's important, and I think we skip past it because it's not sexy. But if you don't have mission, vision, values, goals, if you don't have anything that is subjective in a relationship to build it on, you are subject to somebody else's emotional control. And we know it's the truth because this is what the majority of our relationships are.
Bishop, the bishop, I agree with you. The problem that I'm having, I'm gonna be honest with you, the problem that I'm having is that we also forget that the Bible teaches us to also submit to one another. Yeah. So we'll call it submit to one another. I think that the problem is for many people, we be honest, many Black people, if we just be honest, we come from toxic relationships and toxic environments. And we're trying to view the Bible from those lenses of experiences. Mm-hmm. And so we begin to, as we read the Bible, we reflect on, well, that's somebody trying to tell me what to do. That's somebody that's trying to boss me, or they're tearing me down, or they see me as being beneath them, instead of really trying to understand what the scripture is teaching about the health of the relationship. Because that's the goal of the text, is to develop us to be in healthy relationships, healthy marriages, healthy families.
Yeah, it's late. We could talk about this all night.
Yeah, we could.
Because when you got 7 preachers together, 8 preachers together, you're going to have difference of opinion. But it's almost midnight. I need tonight to make an appeal. This has been good. Part 2 of this, because I still have 7 more questions.
Wow.
The next question was going to be, everybody got something, what something are you willing to put up with? And so we will start there next week. I think this has been healthy. And one thing that I've learned tonight, we got a long way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no, I'm serious. We have a long way to go in this divide of men and women. And what we just looking at the comments, trying to do what I tell Frank not to do. This was one of the best shows. This will go down in one of the top 10. I'm getting all kind of DMs, all kind of tonight. But I don't want you just to send me a DM. I need 100 of you tonight. This is our 42nd week.
Yes, sir.
10 more weeks and we'll be wearing suits on here.
Wow.
I got me one I'm going to save that I ain't going to wear till this show.
Are we wearing a certain color?
Y'all want men in black?
No.
Okay, we all just wear
I got too many colors.
That's fine.
Okay. I need right now, though, the given information is at the bottom. Thank you, Oren Perry, for your $42. And Roger gave his earlier today, $50. And those that have given Miss Pamela Henderson, she said $21 for great content. But I need those of you tonight. You believe in God for the right one. There is a right one for you. I just simply need 100 of you to give $42 tonight. There's some of you that would say, Bishop, I'm gonna give $142 because I'm still believing God for my husband. There's still 300 people everywhere at 12 midnight.
Wow.
Thank you all. That means that you really, we're holding about, when people look at the repeat, I looked at today is about 7,000 that have watched since last week.
Wow.
There's nothing to sneeze at. Consistently now.
Come on.
42 weeks. Yeah. When we go off from here tonight, people go right on to watch them. So I need 100 of you to sow $42 tonight. $Greg Davis 10. PayPal, contact Greg Davis at Gmail. Givelify, Greg Davis Ministries. Zelle, Greg Davis Show. Venmo, Greg Davis 1. Say, I'm getting it done. That's simple. I'm getting it done. 100 people that will sow $42. 10 people that will sow $142 tonight. I'm believing God for my mate. I'm believing God for my husband. I'm going to invest on a regular basis for my husband, for my wife. We sow for everything else. Tonight, let's get it done. I joke on here. Thank you, Frank Ray. I joke on here, but it's definitely good content. I'm learning from you all. All right. Thank you, Maya Johnson, for 42. Thank you. Prophet Vincent, I love you, $100. Thank you. Thank you, Prophet Vincent. Some more of you. Let's get it done, y'all. Thank you, Shaniqua Prophetess, for 42. Thank you, AW Enterprise, for 142. Thank you, Michael Claiborne, 42. Oh, that one went fast. I missed that one. Oh, Pastor Johnson, thank you. 25, thank you. Come on, y'all. I need at least 80 more of you to do that. Teresa Bryant, 42. Thank you. Let's get it done on tonight. For the right one. I figured we go back to the original intent and talk about when the right one tonight comes. And I said he had worked on it today. Vinny L. Smith, $42. I said
check your Zelle, Bishop.
I am Agnes, $42. I mentioned her. Maya. Yeah. Brittany, $42. Thank you all. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Still 258. Can you tap the collection plate? I don't know what that means. Agnes sent $42 for 42 weeks.
Wow.
I'm so grateful to you all. Thank you, Prophetess. Aggie Timothy, $42. All right. Let's give, y'all. Let's give. Let's reach the goal tonight. Let's reach the goal tonight. Let's reach the goal tonight. $42. If we can get 70 more people tonight to do that, don't stop it. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. I'm going to ask our closing prayer tonight. Will come from Ursula, $42. Ursula Slaughter. Prophet Claiborne is going to pray when we get ready to close tonight. His focus in his ministry is for married people. So we want that anointing. Shalise Burke, $42. Thank you. Thank you all. If we can keep going, y'all, we're almost there. I love the way that some of you stay on right through everything. I remember when we first started, they would just leave out. Ariel, Dorset, I believe, $42. Say I enjoyed the show. Thank you, Angelica. Appreciate you. Thank you, Ariel. So kind to the men. Great show, gentlemen. Thanks, gentlemen. Just waiting a few more minutes. Just waiting a few more minutes. If I can get just a few more of you to give that 142, we'll be there. I believe in seed time and harvest. I believe in seed time and harvest.
Can I share real quick, Bishop, while you're doing that in this space? What we as people of color have got to understand, we're creating platforms that are ours, ran by us, owned by us. As of right now, and I say as of right now because I already told Bishop that I see even more than that happening. But as of right now, we don't have sponsorships. And you have all of these great men that are up here to give their time every week. I'm glad to be a part of the team. We don't have sponsorships. When you look at shows like where Bishop was at, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, Roland Martin's show, the people become the sponsorship, Broderick. I mean, we all would love to have Coke come in, and we all would love to have KFC come in, and all of these great people. We would love for them as much as Bishop and Bishop Antoine talk about Starbucks. That ought to be, if they go back and look at the algorithm, that ought to be a sponsorship right there just off of that. But we don't have it. You guys are not only just sowing and seeding, and I don't want to take away from the spiritual aspect, but you're also undergirding and becoming the personal sponsorship of making this platform last as long as it will last. And who knows where God's going to take it. Maybe there'll be a space where Bishop calls us all to one place, and y'all actually get to see us all interact right in each other's same space and not just on here. I believe anything can happen, but it's the sponsorship. And I just believe after 52 weeks, and this is what it was on my mind this morning, Bishop, and I meant to text you as I was watching Rolling, because I told you I watch him every day as well. But what I just sensed, even after the 52 weeks, that you would get people that would say, we're going to partner with you. Do you know we get 300, 400, 500 people that say, I'm going to sow a certain amount of dollars every week, and that will go, it'll grow to that. And as the numbers grow to that, and we get so many subscribers and so many people to be a part of, who knows, you can get up to 20,000 subscribers. If they pay $50 a year, that's $1 million a year. That's $1 million a year if they did that. So I'm just challenging the people. Let's keep this kind of program going on. Let's keep it on. Let's keep it making it happen, and say, you know what? I want to be a part of something that's so awesome. If you start with us on the ground level, who knows how amazing that this will absolutely be. And perhaps those big ticket people that we're talking about, Broderick, will say, you know what, man, they are drawing in the crowd. They're doing something great. Hey, we want to write the check, and one company can write a check and take care of so much more major things. And I just believe that it's going to happen. So I want to encourage all of you all that are giving, or some of y'all that are still trying to hesitate and wonder, give the 42, give the 142, and say, not only do I want to do it from a spiritual perspective, but I want to keep this kind of great conversation going on. Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you. Marlinda, did you get that? I don't know if you got my text about the flyer. You got the flyer that I wanted you to put up? I'm waiting. I just, if just 5 more of you do it. I'm the guest tomorrow for Dr. Eve Moore. She's having a masterclass tomorrow at 7:30. And it's talking about preparing me. Am I missing something? Preparing, that's my thing, preparing for marriage, preparing for the right one. And so the registration is just $40. It's tomorrow night, tonight at 7:30. And if you want to register, all you got to do is get a screenshot of that, and the information is on the flyer, or you can go to my site and be a part of this great, awesome masterclass on tomorrow night. All right. Thank you, Marlinda. I appreciate you. We're going to get ready to close. Anybody have anything to say as you all continue to give? We have not reached our goal yet, but I'm praying that in the next 5 minutes as we close out, that you all will give. Go ahead. Anybody? Closing remarks? All right. Prophet Claiborne.
Father, we give you praise, God, and we thank you for just who you are. God, we thank you for this space and this opportunity, God, for many who are preparing for marriage and those that are already married. But Father, that they have been waiting for the right one to come, but not preparing for the right one to come. So Father, we ask you to move upon them, that they would get maybe books and get resources and go through the areas of their lives that need to be unpacked and need to be whole, not just healed. God, we ask you now, both man and woman, that we would understand how you constructed this whole marriage thing. See, marriage is not something that you just threw together, God. We believe that all things was on the mind of God. And since the beginning of time, marriage has been your heartbeat. It is you who said that it was not good that man would be alone. It was you who took Eve and took the woman out of man and caused them the two to become one. It is you, even at the end of time, that's going to be a part of marriage, because you're the bridegroom that's coming back for the bride. So Father, we ask you to heal this area that has been broken for so long and help us to understand how we connected with you. And God, as you love the church, that we will love our wives and that cause our wives to even honor who we are like they honor you. God, we asking you now that you would heal these and those that are on here that are married, that are yet coming to get more information and more help in that area. God, some husband and wives was on the brink of breaking up until this show came. Some husband and wife was on their way out the door until this show came. God, bless Bishop right now in the name of Jesus. Continue to download vision and ideas. And because he said yes, we are blessed right now in the name of Jesus, because he decided to hear you, God, and cause this to come into place. And we thank you now, kind Father, of all of the hundreds and maybe thousands of people whose lives have been changed by being here every Monday. Over these 42 weeks, we believe that you have brought wholeness and healing in the name of Jesus to these marriages. Bless these men of God, God, as they go throughout their lives and as they sacrifice themselves to give all of who they are, open up and be transparent. Bless each and every one of them, because we are all preparing for marriage. Bless them right now, that the right one, the purpose person, will show up in their lives, God, and be ready to connect with them. Know who they are as a man, as Dwayne said. Know who their purpose and know where they're going. God, help these men of God, that the woman of God, she's already there. God, you've already prepared her. You're already shaping her. You're already getting her ready, that they would run or connect or find each other. And God, we believe that you're going to do just that. God, we claim victory tonight. And even those who seeded, those who gave, those who invested, God, into this ministry, because that's what it is, into this ministry of help and into this kind of show, God, we ask you to give it back to them. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall men give unto their bosom, God. And we forever give your name glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
The given information be up for about 5 minutes. Those of you that have not given, thank you, Angelica, for sewing again. And those of you that are giving, the given information will be up. Gentlemen, another one for the record books. Thank you all so much. I appreciate y'all. Co-Captain Franklin. We'll see y'all Thursday night over at Thursday night, right?
Wednesday night.
I'm sorry,
9 p.m.
I can't keep up with you. I'm still on last week. And don't forget, tomorrow at 3, I have Greg Davis live online. And that's all I got to say tonight, because I'm tired. Monday is my long day. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Bishop. Good night, gentlemen. Yeah, no one get up and 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 yeah.
one. All right, bye. Peace out.